Hey, money makers. Hey, money makers. How are you? It's time for a success real talk today. And let me tell you what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be sharing with you ideas about you becoming successful. And even if you're not going to become, a coach, this also is for you if you really want to understand a little bit about, let's talk real money. Let's talk about freedom. Let's talk about being able to call the shots in your life. This is what you're here for, right? I mean, the bottom line is this. If you don't take care of your own financial future, if you don't take care and make choices about your own time, if you don't take the opportunity to create and design a life and build your business around it, someone else is running your show. And so today in this, this was scheduled really for the final webinar in the series about making money. And I'll be talking also about and you can see it above my head, about my new course, Transition to Coaching, the Foundations course. And look, this is the good stuff. Hey, Alexis. This is the good stuff, right? This is about you learning. I'm going to teach you 3 foundations that really you must have in your business. And I don't have my slides today. I'm really just wanting to talk to you. I actually just made a cup of coffee. I want us to just be in reality, in realness with one another. Because my goal, look, I am purely selfish. I'll acknowledge it. My goal is to feel like the work that I do in the world matters and it's a contribution. And my goal is to help as many women as possible have the life that they want. You know why? The selfish part is because that's like my legacy. That's the ripple effect of my legacy. I'm curious on what your legacy is. See, when I help other women who are mental health, wellness professionals in the helping industries, doing good work in the world, oh my God, it's so awesome. So that's the thing for me is that ripple effect. But the truth is this, let's talk about some of the problems that women have as far as making money. The number one problem that they have is their fear. Their fear all around whether they are good enough. Their fear all around, will I make it? Can I make it? Can I do it? Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Their fear around whether they're smart enough, whether this can be successful. Their fear of failure, their fear of success, all of these kind of things. Now is the time to be able to go for it. Now is the time. We are in a life today for women that we have more opportunity than we ever have before. And what that means for you is that you can design your life. You can create it. See, you already have been helping people have better lives. You deserve to have a better life. Look, you've been helping other people have better lives. You deserve to have a better life. It's very doable. The first thing that you need to do is recognize that you have to get out of your fear. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Mary Bicknell. I am a former psychotherapist, and I still have my clinical license, my LCSW, and I now am a coach, and I have multiple revenue streams, and I'm going to share that a little bit with you today. And this is actually one of the things I teach in some of my groups, including the upcoming The Foundations course. And so I'm a business coach and consultant for women who are in the mental health, wellness professions, chiropractors, naturopaths, licensed family marital therapists, LCSW, social workers, PhDs, all of that. All of you in that helping industries. And these are people who may have years of experience, tons of degrees, or just a couple certifications, right? But they're in that helping industry. And what they want is to be able to do work, right? Because they're helpers. the problem is that they're feeling very frustrated with the institutionalization of a medical model. They're getting frustrated by helping everybody else have a better life, but they're not really making the kind of money that they want to have. They don't have the kind of freedom they want. They're exhausted. They feel worn out. They feel resentful, maybe because actually they're not getting kind of the return on investment that their years of experience or their hundreds, maybe even $100,000 worth of educational investment has given back to them. And there's some frustration really because they don't know how to build a business. It's like, thanks for the amen, right? It's because it's like you have all this knowledge on, how to diagnose somebody or how to write a treatment plan or how to teach somebody what, not to eat, like don't eat sugar, or, how to talk to your kid, how not to beat your kid, like how to get through, like, you just had a baby, like the stress of that, like all of these things you can help people with, but you have zero or limited idea of how to market yourself. So that's one facet of my business, and it's so awesome. Look, literally one of my clients today had her first 10K month. She had her first $10,000 month. And all of that is like totally rad and totally awesome. You know what's even better is when she and I started working together, she just wanted to buy a house with a garage and a mudroom. What's even better than a 10K month is that the work we did to blow her mind and her mindset all around money is now she's investing in commercial real estate. And the commercial real estate she's renting. She's renting this out. So not only does she have that as an asset, the property, she also is having residual and passive income by renters. So she's going to need a bigger house than that one mud room. How cool is that? My point is this. That's a lot of the work that I do with my clients. And most of you therapists out there, it's like, if you don't hire a coach, like turn this off right now. If you're not hiring a coach to help you with your mindset, don't expect to be successful. If you're not willing to invest in your own personal growth, your own, and I'm not even talking about the business building right now. That's a like a legitness thing. Like, right? You need to invest in learning how to run a business, because if you don't know how to make money, you're a slave to someone else. You need to invest at a high level in your mindset. That's your greatest asset, And it's also the most costly thing in your life and your business. If you are being held back because of your limiting thinking and your fears, it's costing you opportunities and thousands and God knows how much money and God knows how much time. So that leads me to the second part of my business, and that is I am the regret-proof life coach. So I have a life coaching practice. So I work with women and I work with them all about like blowing up their mindset, overcoming all their limitations so they can really soar and do whatever they want in their lives. I also do work for different corporations. Excuse me, I was stumbling, like contractors. I almost said the name of the companies and I was catching myself. For different corporations, and go in there and work with them and with their leadership development and consult with like diversity. I'm a social worker. I can talk about this stuff. Oh my God. Of course, then I have passive revenue and all of this. So it's like, I don't want you to compare where I am years in to where you are. I'm just trying to paint the picture to let you know about the opportunities. Because let me tell you, as a social worker, I never in a million years, like I always wanted more for myself in my life, even if I was terrified or even if I held myself back. I always wanted more. I've been able to achieve more than I could have ever thought of because of doing all this mindset work and investing heavily in my thinking and my limitation. Also investing heavily in business development, right? The truth is though, it's way bigger. My life is way bigger, way better than I ever could have imagined, which is so cool. And you can have that too. Okay. So let's get down to, I want to answer some questions for you, and I want to talk about the foundations, the course itself. I want to be able to answer whatever questions. I want to share with you what will go on in that, and who this is good for. So I'm going to start with that first, and then I'm going to answer a bunch of questions. The foundations course is for you if you don't know how to run a business. So some of you I know that are watching this, maybe you already have a private practice. That's great. You know, the foundation, if you are getting leads in your private practice via insurance or Psychology Today or something, you don't know how to run a business. You don't know how to market. Maybe you have a successful private practice. If you don't know how to actually go out and find a live human being and sell them a coaching package, it's a different entity, okay, than just having your phone ring because, hey, you're at the top of Google in my hometown for divorce therapists. Okay, it's a different entity. And so one of the things that we're going to really focus on in the foundations course is not only your mindset, because part of marketing is understanding that if you don't get your mindset right, you're never going to be able to market, because most of the time, the number one blind spot that women have is this, ready? Fear of judgment. It's hard to market your business when you are afraid of judgment. Let me share some of the judgments that people have around coaching. And let me tell you, I was the same way. I was like, those coaches, they're just therapist wannabes. Those coaches, oh my God, I have all my degrees and certification. Look at them. They don't have anything. And so you have to embrace the concept of coaching. And so let me explain what that is and some of the differences. I believe everybody needs a coach. Like athletes have coaches, highly successful people. Like go on Shark Tank. Those billionaires, let me tell you, they're not winging it. They're not doing it alone. They have people in their corner. Not everybody needs therapy where we are looking at healing a dysfunction. We're looking at healing some past wounds. Yes, there's some goals involved, but really that's more of, a true diagnosable illness is different than in coaching. What I'm doing with my clients and what I'm doing with people in the program is I'm helping them co-create toward their goal. So it's not that we don't nod to the past or we don't give credence to behaviors and patterns of thinking and patterns of behavior, because you've got to change your habits to be successful. But we're not like mired in it. We're not like, well, when you were 3, we can nod to it and be like, in a sense of curiosity, but we're always thinking about the goal. How is our actions creating our reality? How is it creating that goal that we want? What do we need to do one step at a time? So the very first foundation in the foundations course is all about mindset and marketing. So here's some other things about marketing is like learning your niche. A niche is just a solution to a problem that people have in, a certain target market. That's it. So I really, have my clients niche down for sure. Why? Because you don't want to be a generalist. You don't want to just be Sally Sue, who I can help everybody. You cannot make a lot of money and help everybody. I promise you can't do it. There are people that not everybody wants an Apple phone. Okay? Some people want Androids. Not everybody drinks Coca-Cola. Some people drink Pepsi. I had some other analogy the other day and I was like, oh, that was good. I forget what it was now. So if you are in that place where you're like, well, I can help everybody, it's like, I think it was some soda. Like some people want 7-Up. Some people want Safeway brand. You need to pick your specialty, and that's what we're going to market. That's what I'm going to teach you to market. In the course, I talk about the 3 most profitable niches or coaching titles, and then we'll talk about the niches under it. And it's really exciting. So this is the thing I always get from people, but I like to help so many people. Great. Learn how to make money at one thing first. Then it's illogical to expand. But when you're out there, like I can help the ADHD, the ADA, the parent of like somebody with a disability, like the parent of kids with attention deficit, and I can help the menopausal woman, and I can help the tween. Like, your message, it's harder. You will feel frustrated. Your audience won't understand what you're trying to talk about. Okay? So when you can understand a population of people, like really, who do you want to go to? The cardiologist, or that knows what they're talking about, or just your GP? Okay, so that's one foundation. The second foundation is all about planning, right? Right, and Kathleen says it's exhausting. It is exhausting. It's exhausting if you don't know how to market effectively. That's tiring. It's so much easier to talk about what the thing that you do well. The second foundation is planning. And most of you are like working full time and you're trying to figure out how to weave in developing a business. And so I really get into a lot of detail about how to actually plan, but not just plan how to weave it in, how to plan your packages. And I give you done for you frameworks on two very distinctive price points, $1,500 and $2,500. Those are very simple. When you get your thinking right to show up and sell a $2,500 package, those are what you're going to be learning. Huge. The third foundation is about systems and about delivering. So I'm a social worker. I love systems, and we're going to talk about what are the cornerstone systems that you need to have in your business. Let me give you a couple of examples. Like, do you have a system to have a client sign agreements? And by the way, I'm giving you a bunch of sample agreements, a bunch of sample emails, like all of these templates that you can use. That alone is worth the price of the course. All of the done for you, here you go stuff is worth it. Why is it worth it? Because you're not going to have to think so hard. You're not going to have to think like, how should I communicate with my clients? What should I say? What kind of agreement should I have? What kind of terms and conditions should I do? I don't know what a price point is. How can I set up? Do I need an LCSW or an LLC? Do I not need an LLC? Should I get in? We're going to talk about all those things. You're going to have a system. Well, okay, now I signed a client. Now what do I do with them? You're going to have a system. It's going to save you a lot of time. All right? Time is your most precious, valuable asset. A couple other things, and then I'm going to go over these. Actually, I'll go over these questions first. Okay, here you go. Do I need a coaching certification in order to have a coaching business? No. I talked about this a little bit. I've talked about this a couple times. I want you to really get clear here. Most of you who are attracted to it's two things. Most of you who are attracted to coaching probably already are coaching. In the Foundations course, I'm going to give you a bunch of coaching questions, and you're probably going to be like, holy shit, I already say that stuff, Mary. Wow, I must be coaching. Yeah. When you get a certification, you are going into someone else's model. So for those of you who, I don't want to say rebels, but for those of you who are tired of being conditioned and regulated about how you should serve people you want to help, coaching is for you. And I would really hesitate to think about another certification. How many certifications do you need to validate that you can help a human being? Like really, take a damn minute here. How many initials do you need in order to say, oh my God, I'm actually a few steps ahead of my ideal client. I can do this. Let me give you an example. One of my clients, new client, she has a private practice doing something else, but she also has two kids who have some special needs. And so her coaching business is going to be working with parents of kids with special needs. Why would she go get a certification just so she has initials behind her name? She already has a ton of initials. She already has years of experience being a parent to children with special needs. I have another client, single mother, right? She's a single mother of a couple kids. Her coaching business is about how to be a great single parent without losing your head and without worrying about money. Okay? I have another client. She works with women all about, loving themselves. Okay. She walks her talk. She is able to talk about breakthroughs, when you feel stuck. I have another client. She works with corporate people. Why does she do that? She used to work in corporate. Okay. And so my point is, choose if you want to get another certification. I would rather see, and this is you, but I would rather you take that money and invest it, whether it's working with me as your business support and coach or not. I would rather see you take that money and invest it in your business. And whether it is a Facebook ad, whether it is traveling somewhere to do a conference, whether it is putting on a local event for, $100, like I would rather see you do that. Actually, it was kind of sad the other day. I'll tell you the truth. I'm being really transparent here. Perfect ideal client for me. Would have been a super could have helped her with building out her business. Private client. Ridiculous amounts of credentials. She even said to me, I did this and I got this other degree, like 2 master's degrees. When I got my second master's degree and the other certification around it, my job was just like, and she got no real recognition or raise. So I started talking to her what it would be like to work with me privately, which I'm like hands-on, we're in it. Like I'm pushing you. And I was like, okay, well, obviously you're more than qualified. And she got scared. Not only the investment, I'm sure it was part of it, but she got scared because I was pushing her and encouraging her to be visible. And guess what she did? She said no to me, which is fine because I only want people who are really ready. If you're my private client or even if you're in my groups, you better be ready. She signed up for some year-long coaching certification program. And I know which one it is. And it doesn't even teach her any business development. Okay, that's enough about that. How do I market? Okay, I'm going to tell you. Let me give you a couple tips. There are people everywhere outside of your 4 walls. When you learn to get your mindset straight, do the marketing, right, and understand your niche, you are able then, and I'm going to teach you exactly what to say, how to say what you do. I'm going to teach you how to be able to go out and talk to people without stumbling and be like, well, I'm a coach. See, marketing is really just sharing what you do with visibility. And so whether let me give you some ideas. Whether you're doing a Facebook Live like this, maybe you develop your own group. Maybe you go into other Facebook groups, not to spam and steal people, but to start showing up. Start sharing your knowledge and your expertise. There's local groups, there's local networking, and I teach you exactly how to do this so it's not just a waste of your time. Because let me tell you, don't go have coffee with everybody. Okay, that's a waste of time. How to do collaborations. Where does somebody who maybe is supporting your niche market, but maybe doing something a little differently, how could you offer something to them? Well, let me give you an example. One of my clients is a relationship coach. And so she's putting together a customer appreciation workshop for a divorce attorney. Now you might say, well, it's too late, Mary. She's a relationship person. No. Those women who just went through crap divorces, this workshop is designed for them. How to feel empowered again after having a crappy divorce. One of my life coaching clients, she is in the middle of a terrible divorce, and we are working so much on her mindset so that she doesn't have to have the next several months of a trial and, the custody battle and all that, so it doesn't weigh her down. So can you see how that is really effective? Speaking gigs. Some of these more advanced things I do not teach in the foundations course. I'm just letting you know. Unless you do the mini VIP. I have in the foundations course, you have an option to work with me privately, one-on-one, and we can elevate what you're doing. If you want to do a talk or you want to help, you want me to help you with your actual sales calls, I'm happy to do that. So local events, podcasting. This morning I was interviewed on a podcast. Some of you who are going to be watching this are, going to maybe see me on a podcast or may have found me on a podcast. In fact, I would love for you to put in the comments below, wherever you're watching this video, how did you find me? Did you find me a Facebook ad? Have you seen me speak live before? Did I show up in a Facebook group and you're like, holy shit, I love that Mary? Did you hear me on a podcast? Did you see me in a telesummit? Have you seen me on an expert panel? There's so many ways for you to be visible. And remember, marketing is selling and being visible. Selling, and part of the plan and part of the foundation is plan, right? How to plan things. And planning includes selling. Oh, thanks. Oh, look at all you. Facebook Live. There you go, video. Great. So part of a plan is selling. Marketing and selling are really the same. I teach you how to not be a smarmy. Who here, okay, and this is a test, right? This is a test too. How many of you who have watched my videos, and I'm sharing hey, the foundation course, sign up. How many of you feel like, oh, you're so pushy and arm twisty selling me? Probably not. But if you are, go ahead and put it in there. If you're attracted to my directness, it's because you're probably direct or you want to be more direct. And so I don't believe that you need to be smarmy salesy. I think you just need to be honest. And if you think you can help somebody, then that's what you do. Part of this, here's an aha moment, so breathe this in, get ready. If you're in a sales conversation, or if you have some fears around marketing, that's just your stuff. Let me give you an example. I had a client once where she was just like, I don't like to sell. I'm like, what do you think selling is? What do you think selling is? And she's like, trying to convince somebody. I'm like, no, selling is having a conversation with somebody and telling them, hey, this is what I can do if we work together. We discovered the mindset block. Her mom was a salesperson and a big kind of real big dominant person. And my client was kind of a smaller framed person and more of a soft spoken and very different personality. So she just kind of took on oh my God, I have to be like my mother. No, you don't. And you don't even have to be like me. You just have to be the honest you. And then learn how to convey the value of what you have to offer. And also, this is a big thing I teach my clients. Not all money is good money. Just because they're waving their credit card at you, Mary, I love you, I want to work with you, does not mean I take them on. Not everybody's ready to do private, high-end, one-on-one coaching. In fact, I know that some of you who will be watching this, I'm sure I might have said to you, maybe now's not the time. Join the Foundations course. Get ready. Get ready to work one-on-one. Okay, let me answer some other questions. What are good prices to charge? And I already covered this, so we'll talk about this more in the class. But $1,500 to $2,500 and selling 90-day packages. 90-day. Those of you who are mental health professionals, or even if you're a chiropractor or nutritionist or whomever, I know you're in the hour for dollar mold. I'm teaching you not only how to design a package to get you out of that, but there's a couple reasons for this. So let me go ahead and share them with you. Number one, I know that when you're doing something for an hour, you may be, because maybe you're codependent because that's why you're a helper, but hey, I'm just saying, maybe you almost over deliver in an hour. You haven't learned how to have a container for growth. You're trying to just cram it all in. Because it's always I don't know if they're going to come back. I don't know if we're going to have another hour. And then that turns into resentment. It's it turns into maybe a client misses a couple weeks. And then it's they booked a call. So you have to start all over. And the truth is, it's not that you resent them. It's just, it's not that you resent that person. It's that you resent the model. The model is not effective. It's just not very effective to have sustained improvement. If we know this logically, you can't just work out twice a month and expect to have a tiny butt. That's not logical. It's the same with your coaching business. I teach you how to have a package and design it in a way that's going to give the most support and accountability to your client. That's where growth comes from. Okay? Isn't that logical? Who here like had a moment where you're like, oh yeah, that's totally right. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for sharing. So I told it, how much time does it take? I don't know what that one means. How much time does it take to make money? I guess when you develop your coaching business. Hey, look, I don't know. How confident do you feel saying, hi, I'm a life coach. I can help, and oh, really? You're a life coach? What do you do? Hey, I work with 50-year-old menopausal women who feel fat and I help them feel sexy again. Like, how often are you out there? How confident are you in talking about what you do? So when people say, how quick am I going to make money? I think you need to learn to ask a better question. The better question is what are the steps that I need to put into place daily, Mary, that are going to support me in developing a business? The better aha moment is being decisive and saying, I'm in it no matter what it takes. Like, are you in it no matter what? Or are you somebody who is going to flake out when shit gets hard? Look, building a business can be simple, and I'm teaching that in the foundations, like foundation 1, foundation 2, foundation 3, say this, do that. But it's not always easy. And so when people are like, well, how long is it going to take? I take that as if you're not all in and committed, you're giving yourself some kind of out. So you need to decide right now, are you giving yourself an out? Because you might as well jump off this video. Don't be a half-asser. Give yourself the gift of being someone who completes what they say they're going to do. That doesn't mean that you don't pivot. Let's say you come up with one idea for your coaching and you decide to pivot. I did that. In the beginning, I was your relationship tour guide because I hated to call myself a coach in the beginning. I had such a stigma. Remember I said that at the beginning of this live. If you're not, it's okay to pivot. I decided I don't want to work with people talking about their asshole husband all the time. So, and I have to tell you, it was hard for me to pivot. I'd spent so much money trademarking stuff, getting my LLC. I was, I had cards that were silk, they were $1 a piece. I was so invested in that. And the reality is I didn't want to do that. So I didn't beat myself up. I pivoted. I was committed to my goal, no matter what the hell it takes. And that is working whenever the hell I want and making as much money as I want. That's my personal goal. There you go. Why? Life is short. We're going to be dead forever. I want to spend time with my husband. I want to spend time with my kid. I like to hike. I like to garden. I like to read. I like to veg out sometimes. I like to travel. I can't do that if I'm working for somebody else. I cannot be free and work for a company, an agency, even a private practice. In private practice, cranking out $1.50 an hour, seeing 25 or 30 clients a week, that's exhausting. Who feels me here, right? I'm overwhelmed. What do I do? Well, the truth is that there'll be moments that you feel overwhelmed. And it's okay. You've got to realize that you're growing. There's a saying that, and we do a lot of money mindset work in the foundations course. You're going to have those holy fuck moments. I had a client recently, private client. She had a holy fuck moment. It was a big moment during her VIP day. Big. She told me 2 days later, it actually was a week later, she's I'm still having diarrhea from my VIP day. She had such a moment of aha around her limiting thinking around money. So there's going to be times that you're feeling overwhelmed and you should be feeling a little oh, whoa, because it's new. It's new. Show up, be the best damn client you can possibly be. Be the kind of person you want to coach. Right? go through the process so you can understand that your job is to help coach people and support and elevate them in their growth, and that they're going to experience it. This is what I said. Like, if you're not willing to be coached, quit the fucking industry now. Get out. Get out. If you're not willing to figure out how to pay for something, get out. It's so ridiculous for me when people are like, I don't need coaching. I just like, you need to understand a process. You need to understand the process if you're going to be effective coaching. Now, I know this goes so against everything that we're taught as therapists. Like, as a therapist, although I think in grad school, they actually said you should at least get some therapy, like experience it. Like, so this is no different. So overwhelmed, there's a difference between like overwhelmed and shutting down and being like freaking out, overwhelmed, like, there's a big difference from that than feeling like, wow, I feel like there's a lot to do. And there will be a lot to do. I think we shouldn't focus on the money. We should only focus on helping people. What was the rest of that question? How can I possibly make money? Okay, look, I get this all the time. Either people are like, Mary, you're just talking about money so much. Look, I'm talking about money because you can't have a great life if you don't have a lot of money. I'm not saying money buys happiness. I'm saying money buys you opportunities that can give you happiness. So that is somebody who's asking that with a big limitation around money. You can help more people when you build a solid business. You can get started building that solid business in the Transition to Coaching, the foundation course. Okay? If you aren't learning how to market to reach your ideal client, you're not helping anybody. So, and stop with this like reverse discrimination. It's like so funny. It's so funny, guys. Okay, look, it's so funny why you have this reverse discrimination. You're like, I'm not helping them rich people who could pay me. Actually, okay, this is a perfect. So that woman I spoke about earlier who got really scared and ended up going and getting another certification after having like 2 master's degrees and all this other stuff. I feel for her. I feel for her because I know how scared she is. I totally get it. I could have totally helped her. Anyhow, this is what she said to me. She said, I can't stand those coaches because they're taking advantage of people and charging them thousands of dollars. And I said, how much money are you making right now? And she said $160 an hour. And I'm like, how many clients do you need to see? You know, and I went through the whole numbers, like, how many clients do you see? How much are you working per week? You know, and she said, those coaches who are charging thousands of dollars to these desperate people. This is a point about ethics, and so I'll just hit that now because it's kind of the same topic, because there was another question about ethics. First of all, I just paid nearly $5,000 to my life coach for a 90-day program. Actually, I said to her, well, maybe I am desperate for her solution. You know what? I want her freaking solution. I am an A+ student. When I pay $5,000, you bet your ass I'm in it. I'm in it. +2, I'm a great client. Once I find somebody I want to follow, I follow them. I allow them to mentor me. I hire them, and everything I can get from them. I buy it all. I want to know. I want to learn everything, and then I move on, which is what I want you to do. The foundations course, then I'm going to have a mastermind that's coming out for advanced marketing. You know, follow the lead. My point is, she was so stuck on people who could afford to pay a couple thousand or $5,000 or $10,000 or $100,000. She was so limited. And she had a lot of pushback when I showed that to her, when I talked about that with her. And I think she got scared too at the thought of charging people thousands of dollars. Let me tell you, you're a mom. One of my clients said to me, I said, how much would you have paid to have a coach help you? This is the client with a couple of special needs kids who now is a therapist, but her coaching business is helping parents with special needs kids. That's her coaching business. Like how to stress management, time management, like effective coping skills, like how to kind of organize the schedule, like all of that kind of stuff, right? That's coaching. I said to her, how much would you have paid? And she's like, this is literally what she said. And I should write this down because that was so good. She said, I would have sold my soul to have some help. And that really touches me because I think about how many people, with her coming at her coaching business with that understanding of her ideal client, she's just going to have such a successful business. That's far different than the other woman who had such a limitation around charging and looking at people who are willing to pay as desperate. I hope that I hope really that you're getting that. My goal for this, and of course all my training, is that you really get, of course there's assholes out there in the ethics. Let me talk about this. There's bad people no matter every industry. So don't get on your high horse that I'm a therapist and I'm so ethical. Like, I'm ethical. I don't take, not all money's good money. That's my core value. I do not take money from people if they are not a fit and not ready, because it's a waste. This is why. It's not just that I'm ethical. It's also, I'm not wasting my damn time. Do you get it? Like, when you have your own business, this is about you having your own business, designing a life, working with people you love that you're so pumped. I love my clients. I'm pumped to work with them. They jazz me. I'm psyched for coaching day. I love it. I'm not going to bring on and sign a client just so I can make another 10 grand or $15,000. If every day I have to talk, when I talk to them, I'm like, it's fucking Sue. It's coaching day and I got to talk to Sue. No, I like to keep my vibe high because I want to bring energy to my clients. So my ethical standard is I don't take people's money. But everybody, I believe that it's unethical to give someone a diagnosis and then charge things so they get paid by insurance. I find that unethical. You're going to diagnose somebody major depression. It is on the record for fucking ever, just so you can get paid $100 and they're going to give you a $20 copay. Okay, I'm gonna stop on that because that is just, that bothers me. Here it is. I only have fill in the blank. 1 degree. Am I qualified enough? I think I've covered this. You're more than qualified if you're one step ahead of a client. I only have been a health or wellness person for anything over a day. If you've ever helped another person, look, if you ever have one girlfriend who you listen to and you're like, listen, Susie, what you need to do is blah, blah, blah. That's coaching. I mean, that's not all of the coaching. I don't mean that's all of it. But I mean, if you're able to listen to somebody, and let me tell you some of the skills that you need, just so you know, so you can get over, you're like, am I enough? Are you a good listener? As coaches, we ask questions and we help a client discover they have the answer within. When I used to be a relationship coach, I would say things like, I'm going to walk along with you along a path and I'm going to be pointing out things that may have been patterns of behavior or comments that you've made and help you see how to have a better relationship. Like, I would talk like that. Now, as a business consultant, I'm not only a business coach, I'm a business consultant. There's plenty of times I just say to a client, like, don't do this, do this. But when I'm in business coaching, I ask questions more along the lines like, what would be the benefit of you putting together a 3-bullet point email to reach out to that divorce attorney as a possibility for creating a workshop for them? What would be some of the benefits? She's going to be like, well, they're my blah, 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 blah. So when I'm in business coaching mode, I'm asking questions that I know my client has the answer to. I'm helping them discover that. So if you know how to ask questions to help people discover the truth within, because I don't believe people are broken. I believe they have the answer. They just can't see it. They just, I don't know where it is. If you're a great listener, listen. Okay? If you're great at that, you believe that people are not broken. You believe that you can help. Like, you have to believe in yourself that you can help people. So that's part of it. What about my license? Every state, this is what I say, and this is just a nugget of what you'll hear in the foundation course. Every state and every board, you have to look at it yourself, because literally every state has its own board. Let me tell you, Oklahoma, actually, they are in the process of demolishing, that's not it, they're closing down their board. I forget which licensed marital therapist or something. One of those. They're closing their board. You are responsible to see what regulations that you have around your license. Let me tell you, I only have my license purely for authority, building authority for you, because you're thinking, oh, she has a license, she must know what she's talking about. And I do. But also, I don't need it. No one ever asked me about my license. No one ever asked me. My corporate clients, they don't say, oh, tell me, where'd you get your master's degree? Do you have a certification? Nobody asked me that. Okay. In a minute, I'll go in and read the questions that you've posted. So if you have questions, now's the time to start typing them in to wherever you're watching this. And if you're watching a replay, please put like hashtag replay and tell me where you're from. And go ahead and put some more questions in there. I will come back to at the end and answer all of those. The other one is about ethics. So I already answered the ethics question. So for those of you who have, let me tell you some of the bonuses for the foundation course. Cause I always believe in making your bonuses like worthy of the price of admission, even if you didn't take one of the classes. So the foundation course is a 9-week program. Every Monday, you're going to get several 10 to 20 minutes-ish bite-size to-do videos with a corresponding worksheet or checklist. Why? Because you're busy, girl. I know you're busy. And so you have lifetime access, so you can just do these as needed. These are stepping stones. Then every Thursday, we have a live coaching call. You can ask me anything that you want about anything that's covered in our course. Okay? And why I make sure I'm saying it like that, like I'm not going to answer questions like, how can I get a speaking gig? Because that's not part of the course. That's the next course that's coming. You know, if you want to learn how to do a speaking gig and my first speaking engagement was a 10 grand day. Like I'm going to teach that in the advanced marketing course. So if you're interested in that and you're watching the replay, you can put hashtag advanced and I'll make sure you get on the list, but that's not coming out until later in the summer. So we got plenty of time. So it's 9 weeks. So here's the juicy bonuses. Number 1, you have a private Facebook group. So I'll be in there frequently answering your questions directly. And I might even do a quick little like couple minute video answering your question, not just typing it out. So, and this is the great thing. This is about every group has its own needs. So everyone in the foundation group, I want them to be able to say, I want more information about this. I want more information about this. Once you get the videos, you'll be able to say, oh, I understand it, but can you go deeper? And maybe I don't need to go deeper, but my point is every group is in a different space. So that's why I'm in a private Facebook group with you to be able to answer questions just for you guys. So that's one. So we have a workshop that will be coming out on May, let's say the 18th, May 18th. And it is all about numbers so that you can get into reality. Like how much money do you really need to live? How much do you need to sell? How much do you need to live? Like you're going to get numbery, because I don't want to hear another woman say to me, I don't really know. I don't really know numbers. That's bull. You better know numbers. You're never going to make any money and you're going to be a slave to somebody else. I'm telling you. So another one is a deep dive money mindset workshop. Like this is worth everything. Like, I'm going to give you one of my automated 21-day email only. This is cool, guys. Like people buy this 21-day email only program. It does come with a 30-minute coaching, call with me. You don't get that as part of the foundation, but I'm showing this to you. I'm trying to teach you, like, you know, when you get these in your inbox every day, you're going to be like, oh my God, people are paying Mary for these emails every day. Now, they're good emails. In fact, some of those exercises within that program in the bonus, you'll be doing those exercises in foundations. But one of the best things, and I've already mentioned this, is the business vault. Is the business vault full of done for you, email templates, how to get testimonials, all of that. So go to the foundations up here. All right, let me go in, and I'm going to go in and answer your questions if you have any live questions. So bear with me just a second. Sorry, my feed wasn't clicking very well. So if you have any questions, you need to pop in right now is the time, or you can Facebook message me, message me. Great. Oh, hi everybody. Look, there you all are. Can I get a tutorial on how to use Google Docs? YouTube that. I'm not going to do on that. YouTube that. Why? Because I want you to be able to go in there quickly. And let me think about this for a second, Nicole. I want to give you as much support, of course, around the how-tos of like your marketing and building your business. But some of these things, like I want you to YouTube it. I want you to get a little experienced in seeking out your answer. Because as soon as you see a 3-minute video that somebody's already invested a lot of time like figuring that out, bam. How long will the live coaching be on Thursday? As long as it takes. I will answer your question. So if it's an hour, if it's 20 minutes because, you know, there's 3 of you on there, if it's an hour and a half because there's 12 of you on there, I will answer your questions. That's my commitment. How soon should we have our specific intention written out? So Nicole's asking a question about one of your very first assignments already is to have your intention. Like that intention needs to be sent to me, right? That's part of, so what she's talking about is if you sign up right now, you already will get emails with your first assignments. And one of your very first assignments, I think you should have this with any course or any start of anything, is write down what is it that you want out of it? What's the intention? And this is why, because at the end of the 9 weeks in the foundation course, you're going to be different. You're going to forget that you started because you were nervous, you were scared. You're going to be 9 weeks in and you're going to look different. So give me that intentions immediately and then start looking at them, writing them out. And we'll do even a deeper dive on that. I'll definitely YouTube it tomorrow. Yeah. Some of these things, like, you're going to be so shocked. It's even about Facebook ads, which we're not going to talk about in the foundation course. That's more at my advanced courses. And I will go in because I build it out to show you. When it's like a little more intensive, a little deeper dive, I will go through and give you a very concrete example. And that Google document that I gave you, we will be using that. So I'll go in there, but this is the nuts and bolts of it. When you share a Google document, you make a copy. You look in the top left-hand corner and it says copy. Make a copy, put your name on it, fill it out, and then share your copy with me. Or you do this with your clients. So the document she's referring to is actually a document that I use with my private clients. We communicate. It's a Google Doc, for those of you who don't know, it's live. So while I'm typing in there during a pre-call session or a goal or something, it's visible in that moment, which is totally rad. All right, let me see if there's any other comments. Comments. No other comments right now. So I know some of you are already in the Yay! Okay. And so some of you who are watching are like, oh, I know when you watch this replay, it's going to answer some questions for you. Can I still upgrade my mini VIP day? Ooh, to a full day. So why don't you pop me a message, Nicole, and we will have a conversation about that. So Nicole's asking because she signed up for the foundations course and started with the mini VIP day, mini, which is just half, and she wants to upgrade, which, hello, it's pretty badassy because VIP days are awesome. In fact, I have one on Wednesday with a brand new client who lives like thousands of miles away. It's so cool. Okay. If you have any questions when you're watching this replay, please reach out to me. Please reach out to me. You can private message me. You can send me an email, mary@marybicknell.com. And my goal with this foundation course is that you really do feel solid. You do feel solid. And I know you need to feel solid while you're growing. I'm going to teach you everything that I can to support that for you. And as your peer, as a social worker, and someone who now has a incredibly successful business, I'm still new enough, like, to this industry that I remember what you're going through. I know what it feels like. And I know what it feels like for me to expand. And I try and I am as transparent as possible so that you can hear, and I know you hear, that I am like walking right along with you, right? I'm not gonna drag you, but I'm gonna run just as hard with you. So have a good night, and I will see you in the group. Talk to you later.